Thank you to THQ Nordic for the game key. So guys, welcome back to the channel. We are gonna just kind of do, I don't want to say quick, but not super deep dive. Move the cursor out of the way. I forget this game shows a cursor. um, Wonder how long that's been sitting in the middle of the screen for. Um, we're gonna go look at the Creator Wrestler, because I know a lot of you are probably gonna be super interested in doing this. So we are gonna just look at what I've done with Captain Awesome. I do like that. I'm not sure if there's a limit for extra costumes, but for the most part, I mean, I think I have like 3 of them set, which is really nice. So these are wrestlers that you can modify. You can't really get super detailed in them. Not sure if it's gonna change later on, but I think you could really just change like their entrance maybe, or maybe things later on as you purchase them in the shop. You could probably add. It's pretty basic on the current wrestlers. You can copy their costumes over, but you can't do like change their colors and all that. I mean, I haven't found out how. Maybe someone will be able to figure that out, but I have not. And Christian has the little caution thing because he is my current road to the elite. Look at the graphics in this. Like the super detail on these characters. It's nuts. It's just the amount of attention to detail. There's Cody. I think they're trying to do their best to hide that neck tattoo. So we're gonna go do my guy here. That's what she said. And see the first one. So you get in here, first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna get your profile. You're gonna set up your name. You can put whatever you want. It's gonna be first, last name. Your display name, same thing. Your announce names are your presets. So you're gonna have different call names here, and you can actually have Justin Roberts announce them. You could be a moose if you want to. So put mine to Mr. Awesome. I couldn't find Captain. So just put everything else here. Put all your stats, your pose like you have WWE. And AI type. I'm assuming that's if the AI was controlling you. I'm not sure. I would have to get more information as to what that is. Yeah, your different voices. I think there's like 5 or 6. Not here. Again, basic, but again, look at that detail. I can appreciate an arcade game that looks like that. Just do your little detail. It's not ultra realistic like WWE. That's, depending on who it is, that's a good thing because it's very involved. We're here, and it's still involved. Don't get me wrong. It's still gonna take you like an hour or 2 before you completely finish setting up your person, because you can get into details here. But for the most part, you're not going to have like 500 sets of eyes. You're not going to have 200 sets of face or hair and stuff. I mean, in that way, it's a little more basic, but you're playing the game more than creating your people, which I can appreciate because it takes a long time to do your creator wrestlers. And especially how WWE is, where it's kind of goofy that you have it and they're like separate from My Rise to just every other mode. So it would be nice if you were able to use your create a superstar and push him over to My Rise. Nope. I'm not even sure if you can transfer your My Rise character at the end of it to the roster. But here you can do your body type and whatnot and body hair. Pretty basic stuff. Here's your ring gear. Again, it's not 1,000 costumes. It's a basic thing. I'm not sure if you're gonna get more down the road, updates or DLC are gonna come into play, add a lot more costumes, but for the most part, again, it's basic, but I appreciate it's better than nothing, and for their first try, pretty decent. Not a terrible roster of gear, and I appreciate the fast loading. That is one thing I appreciate in this game. Again, like I said in the last video, not working on an SSD. This is just your standard external hard drive. And it is within seconds that you're getting your different options here. Again, anybody who's played WWE games can attest to the latency that you get when you hop around the Create a Superstar, and then you're loading from different screens to another screens. I don't know how many times that game has crashed on me, and been very frustrating when you're about 50 minutes deep into your Create a Superstar, and then you can't save because the game crashed. It's very frustrating. This, I haven't had any issues. And again, I appreciate it that things just load like a second later. Really appreciate that. Got accessories. I was gonna put the dog collars, but be wearing them in the middle of a match. That'd probably be one minor gripe that I have. It'd be nice if you could have some of these things for entrance attire. I think entrance attire is just like a shirt and a jacket for now. Again, hoping that maybe that changes later on. So here's your options. Again, not a lot of options. That could change later on. But I can tell you that you probably are gonna just pick something fast. It's not, again, not like 1,000 options that you have in WWE games, which I think at this point gets very overwhelming and gets very chunky. It gets very, very sluggish. Like hopping in and out of these menus is almost seamless in this game. Could never say that for WWE one. And then here you got your entrance attires. Again, it's just top and jacket, so it's just a shirt, basically. And you do have pretty good option. You have a lot of pro wrestling tees, which is nice. So if you do fancy a generic t-shirt, you have a lot of really cool pro wrestling tees. These are probably my two favorite ones. This one and this one. I like kind of like the 80s retro or 70s retro. And then kind of like the beach one. And then you also have street clothes. And street clothes we'll delve into when we cover Road to Elite. Because you have a lot of RPG elements, like I said in the last last video. I'm so focused on like Division and WWE stuff, all these episodic things. And the last video, I touched on briefly that there are RPG elements in there. Like you gotta keep up your health. You got skill points. You have your motivation. Not really sure how that changes the way you wrestle, but you can get injured. Again, I'm not sure into how that changes in the story. Like, do you get severely hurt? I'm not sure yet. But for cutscenes and whatnot, you could set this up here, and we'll just quick glance at my guy. It looks like he's a Florida or California boy. It's just simple. Like, I like it that it's enough where it's not really basic, but it's not overwhelming, if that makes any sense. I think it's just enough to start. And again, really detailed. Like, even WWE, for as highly detailed as those games are, there's a little bit of wonkiness in how they do things. This almost feel like they're kind of like highly detailed, highly articulated, like wrestling figures with how they look. Like a little bit of, I guess, Battlegrounds and WWE 2K, like the main line. It's like in between that. But then the gameplay obviously leans more towards arcade, like your Day of Reckonings or your WCW NWO Revenge, or your WWF No Mercies, or WrestleMania 2000s. God, I love the Brainbuster. I'm sure you guys probably agree with me. I think we've been using it for, what, like 3-4 months now as a signature. As soon as I saw it here, I was like, yep. And then I saw Scorpio use the jumping flatliner. I'm like, okay, there we go. I'm not a fan of the single arm one, like Little Jimmy in WWE 2K. I mean, they have like 5 different versions of it there. But, I mean, it's better than nothing at the end of the day. And then here's, you got your different skills, abilities where you can unlock more slots for your finishers. You got guys like Kenny Omega, and we saw Jericho earlier, who have several finishers and signatures. But that's kind of the cool thing too, because when you play Road to Elite, you can build those up to be able to distribute those and have different multiple finishers and signatures. Really cool. And then your taunts, just a really long list of different things. A lot of generically titled things, probably for copyright reasons. But pretty cool nonetheless though. Like as you can see, the Jade Cargill ones, you could definitely tell the AEW ones. You don't even have to look at the names. You exactly know who they are when you see the mannerisms or womanisms or womanerisms, however. And it's really, really detailed. Like, it's really done good with it. So taunts. Here's your desperation impulse. So the last video was talking about your payback. That's basically what your desperation impulse is. So I was playing Christian Cage offline or off camera, and he did, I forget who I was facing, but they might have been Road to the Elite. Someone hit their finisher, and as they were trying to pick me up, I did a small package. And it's, I think you hit the right analog stick, and that's what it is. It's basically, it's WWE reference, it's your payback. It's like your quick, like, pen kind of thing. Really cool. I don't have that ability yet. It's your skill. I don't have that equipped yet. I think I probably have to set it in Road to the Elite. So it's pretty neat. And I like it because you have, again, things like this. You got these. So you need your strike proficiency skill. You can expand more moves. So I like that because your player's always going to be evolving. It's not just like you're going to do it once and that's it. Like, you can build onto them. You can have your bare bone version of them, but then as you progress in the game further, you can use your skill points to expand your repertoire on your character. Really nice. Really nice on how they make this game really fun, kind of bringing all those little fun elements that like WrestleMania 2000 and WWF No Mercy had with SmackDown Mall coordiness. You're not gonna have like a $8,000 shirt here of The Rock or something, but it's along the same lines though, where you can just buy extra gear, extra taunts, more skill ability slots for moves. There's a lot that they can add to this game, so I'm not sure if that's in the works, if it's going to be a DLC thing, or if they're just going to kind of add later on. But there's a lot that they can do with it, especially with the shop thing. And again, as far as I know, I don't think it's microtransactions. I think it's all in-game currency. As you can see in the top right corner, I got 70,000 bucks, whatever the currency is. You get that from your matches and whatnot. So, and I think your Road to the Elite, I think I want to say it is separate from, I mean, we could pop in there and look at it. We could take a look at that and see, but I'm pretty sure, I think that 70,000 is separate in Road to the Elite, because you have a lot of the other things too. Like you got your health, you got your energy, you got your motivation, you got your skill points. You have all these other things that you have to keep track of. So I would like to think that your money is also in that top shelf on the screen. So, I mean, just your basic wrestling game, but in a very nice, neat package for... You couldn't tell by looking at this game that this is their first go. So you got your strong, and it tells you the bottom corner too, what buttons do what. So we're working off an Xbox controller. Technically, I'm using an 8-bit Do Pro 2 controller, but again, it's working off an Xbox control scheme. So X, or it would be what's square on PlayStation. So pretty cool. Again, it gives you, it's basically, it's X, then it's up X, then it's down X, then it's left or right X, and then your rears are going to be X, and then your any direction X. And that's what I'm talking about too, that like this is probably a good important thing for people to look at first. Probably, I mean, obviously play the game a couple times, get a few reps in there, but then I would suggest, like I said in the last video, just create a quick and dirty character, but for the most part, get into the moveset, understand what the moves look like, because for the basic thing, they're not going to tell you every single button and what it does and in what scenario. They're going to tell you, okay, well, X is high strike and Y is low strike, and then they're going to tell you strike guard is right bumper and left bumper is your grapple guard, and your action button is your left trigger, which that's like your tag button and going in and out of the ring. Your Irish whip is, I think, a right trigger, even though I do B a lot, because I think grappling and then hitting B with the direction also whips them. So I'd have to look at right trigger and see if that's actually it. Because I think it was like 2 buttons that they labeled, but I just do run. That works for me. So here's probably the best way to get the lay of the land on your player. And I'm not, again, you don't have to get super detailed with your character. This is just going to work for everybody, basically. So you get an idea as to what type of moves. Like, perfect example, top rope dives. You have your A, all right? And you got your ground A. And here is going to be your X. And then you got your ground X. And same thing for your Ys. So again, your Ys are mostly going to be your kicks. Your X's are going to be your punches. So that's square punches. And your triangles are going to be your kicks. So, and then your X or A is going to be your grapples. So again, kind of you get an idea as to the scheme and how they're going about adding secondary moves to different little scenarios and parts in the of the ring and outside the ring, and a lot of these are just really good fluid animations. I mean, they're just obviously they're just sped up for arcade sense, but man, they're really good. All right, so we go rope chain, drop them down. And again, some of these things, just like WWE games, you don't have a vast variety of moves. Like this is like 2 moves. But I appreciate having an option of variety, even if it is just 2, because you know WWE games are no different. Wouldn't be shocked if Fire Pro Wrestling World is the same exact way. We'll probably be introducing that as well to the channel. I've been playing that for what, like 5 years or something like that. First got it on PlayStation 4, and then a few years ago I think I got it on Steam. I think maybe like 3 years ago. Been having fun with that. It's just kind of, that's almost like my de-stress of playing WWE. Playing that. And use your tandem moves, which is nice. I like the variety of your corner moves and your mid-ring moves, and you got your whip moves. Really like the variety. Here's a Dark Order. Really nice. Really nice. Very fluid looking. Again, I appreciate how fast the animations are. It's not as cumbersome. You don't feel like a chore that other games can be. Here's your rope chain. Boom. That is what, Red Dragon? Which is also nice too, because they give you the ability to create all these other wrestlers that aren't in the AEW game but have been in AEW at some point. So it's actually nice to see that their team moves or their single moves and stuff are in there. So hopefully they expand on the Create a Wrestler and you can actually create these wrestlers, which would be nice. And then you got your 2-for-1, which are basically your counters, which is again awesome. I don't think WWE games do this. Where you counter the tag team tandem moves, which is really awesome. So, as for the movesets, that's pretty much it for that. Again, it's very detailed. We didn't go through the long list of every move because this video would probably be over an hour. So, we're just gonna show you the quick nuts and bolts of everything. And again, I forget that I don't have this because I kind of like the little loading screen pictures. Sometimes very useful little tooltips. I have to remember to press A because I'll just sit here and look at it. There you go here. Got your movesets. You got your entrance scene. It's like 2 seconds, maybe 2-3 seconds at most. Again, I appreciate the very simplistic entrance thing. I mean, they're very short. I like that they're there. I also like that they're not 5 minutes long. It's something that very cumbersome that I have to remember to edit out in my wrestling games. Otherwise, it would add like another 10 minutes to my videos after doing like, especially if it's like a tag match. I think we did a 6-man battle royal recently. I'm not sure if that's even up yet. It might be. If I would have left all the entrances, that would have been like another 10-15 minutes. So I appreciate that, like, these are like little snippets, like 5 seconds of an entrance, and then you're good. It's simple. At the end of the day, like, I appreciate the complexity of what WWE games can be, but at the same time, though, it gets very tedious when you gotta create all those things. Sometimes you just want to pick up the controller and play. You don't want to sit there for 4 hours creating this ultra realistic character and then have it crash on you, because that's a thing, unfortunately, in WWE games. The entrances kind of remind me of TNA games. I think the TNA games were quick like that. TNA Impact. So, and you can do like hand gestures and stuff. So, which is kind of nice. You could change their hands to do different things. Yeah, props if you had that ability. So it's actually kind of neat that you could change. Now he's showing 2 fingers. Again, little subtle things. I like the subtle details and stuff. Right, well, that was kind of like a quick look at what Create a Wrestler looks like. So I think we've looked at everything. Oh yeah, here's other costumes. So basically you go new preset and it automatically copies your original, which is nice. And then from there, then it shows up in the top corner and you just change their gear. With your custom wrestlers, you have more customization. So with AEW wrestlers, I could only figure out that you could just kind of like add a shirt to them. It wasn't very detailed for them. But when it's your custom wrestler, when you make multiple costumes, you can change to whatever. So for the most part, I kept the same upper body, but I changed trunks and shorts, and then you can also rename them. I'm not sure if console has that. I'm playing on Steam, so I'm not sure if console has that ability. But I mean, simple. It looks great. It works. Not cumbersome. It's not tedious. You kind of want to create a wrestler in this. So, anyways, this was your first look at Create a Wrestler in AEW Fight Forever. It is released June 29 for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Steam, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. We'll continue looking at different bits and pieces of this game all the way up to it coming out. And then we'll start our road to the Elite with this fella here that we all know, and I don't know if anybody loves. I know some people probably hate, but I think he likes that. So anyways, we'll catch you in the next video of AEW Fight Forever. All right, have a good week, guys.